Welcome back. Well, we'll be hearing from the RBI governor in a few hours from now. But before that, we'll have plenty of stocks that will be moving around. To help us out with some fundamental analysis, Ajay Bodke joins us for exactly that. Hi, Ajay. Good morning. Well, let's talk about the big stock, Bajaj Finance. They're looking to raise close to around 8 to around 10,000 crores. Or big fundraising plan out there. How would you view the stock? Valuation-wise, it's never been cheap. But your view on it from here on?
Good morning, Nigel, and thank you for having me. I think the aggressive entry of Reliance in the financial services business clearly is having its ripple effects. And many NBFCs are trying to fortify their positions. Now, Bajaj Finance obviously is in a pole position. But in my opinion, I think this entry has necessitated it to increase to raise capital. The capital raise will be viewed very positively by the market because after the capital raise, I think the value should, in my analysis, go up by between 10 to 13%. The EPS should go up by around 6 to 8%. And the valuations that you spoke about, from a 7 times price to book before the raise, it should marginally come down to 6 times price to book. But let's not forget that pre-COVID, the stock used to trade at as high as 8 times price to book. The numbers that were announced a few days back, pre-quarter numbers, continue to show strong momentum, both in terms of client acquisition as well as the AUM growth. So there is no slack out there. So there was a concern a couple of quarters back whether the high base would start impacting the numbers, but that is not evident at all. So in my opinion, I think Bajaj Finance continues to remain the preeminent part of one's portfolio for the medium term.
All right, Ajay, hi, good morning. Very, very strong numbers coming in from Tata Motors in terms of JLR, right? So the wholesale, the retail numbers have grown in excess of 21%. There's a operational free cash flow that they're looking at of 300 million pounds. At this price, I think Tata Motors' stock, last time I saw it, it was around 600 or so. At this price, is the risk reward still favorable for investors?
I believe so, Sonia. Because if you look at the total or the order book that is yet to be taken care of, I think it remains very strong at 1.68 lakh as per the company press release and the fulfillment number. Plus, if you look at the breakup, I think the American economy, which is doing strong, I think there the growth has been around 32% in terms of retail sales for the September quarter. The numbers have come down essentially because China has grown only at 7%. Europe, I think, remains in mid-teens. So I think the two strong markets, North America and Europe, continue to fire quite strongly for the company. And the three key brands for the company, I think, which constitute 77% of the total order, I think they're the high margin brands. I think if you look at Range Rover Sport and Defender. So in my opinion, I think Tata Motors, plus as you mentioned, a strong 300 million pounds of free cash flow expected for the September quarter. So all in all, I think with the India business also doing well, both in terms of CV as well as the passenger vehicles, not a bad place to be in for at least a 15 to 20% one-year return from here on for Tata Motors.
But very quickly, if you will, Ajay, your thoughts on Angel One, if you cover it.
No, I think, unfortunately, Prashant, I've not covered it, so I'm so sorry about it.
Is a Zomato or a recent listing like RR Kabel? I'm just sort of picking out names which have seen strong momentum recently.
Yeah, I think in that space, I think, I like PB Fintech. I think the company, there is a large block that is expected to happen, I think, today. But then I think that's part of SoftBank's exit strategy. I think 5% they had sold in December, and I think they're following it up with a 2% sale today. But if you look at the last quarter numbers, I think the losses have significantly narrowed down. I believe from as high as 200 crores a year back, I think they've come down to something like 10 or 11%. And the sales, the revenue growth for the last quarter also on a YOY basis are very strong. So I think this sale by SoftBank should be taken as an opportunity by investors to accumulate the stock.
Okay, PB Fintech is Ajay's pick. Ajay, it's a sort of brief chat this morning, but it's a power-packed day. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll have you back soon again for a more detailed conversation.